Okay, so we got the Stanley Parable 4. We are gonna name it Book of the Didgeridoo. Done. What the hell is this? I almost prefer the revving car one. What's up, everyone? Dare here, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable 4 Book of the Didgeridoo. I apologize, I haven't had a video in a couple weeks. I unfortunately was sick there for a while, and then when I started to feel better, I had to immediately get on a plane and go out of town for 2 weeks for work. So that was unfortunate, but here we are back at it. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoy this. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of my content. Let's dive on in. Okay. We have a few things that we need to do. Yes, Frank, there are. I have quite a few remaining interactions, and then I have a couple endings left as well. So I was actually told to just kind of mess around in here a bit and see what happens. But
all of his co-workers were gone.
no, I want to go back in.
What did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Damn, could I really not go back in? Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. No, that's not working.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Yes, I'm aware of that. Who farted? What a great cup. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh, shit.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map
Did I
until he
not?
heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Was
He
it?
then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes.
I didn't.
So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
I don't think
Why
so.
don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yep. Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want.
No.
Like right now. You could have done it just then.
Yeah.
Now would also be an appropriate time to quit.
No.
Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley,
Yeah.
who people considered so manly.
Factual still.
But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly.
Still
What
factual.
Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
I'm waiting this out. You're going to reset this for me.
One eternity later.
Is this really it? Like, do I actually have to manually restart this? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Hi, Mr.
Perhaps
Bucket.
he had
I'm not
simply
grabbing
missed
you
a
this
memo.
time. Hey, new content. Return of Stanley Parable 2. We'll go back.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
Couple
doors, this
things
was
I
not
want.
the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I may
Perhaps he wanted
actually
to stop
cut
by
out
the
most
employee lounge
of the
first,
walking
just
in
to
between.
admire it.
Because there are a bunch of interactions
Yes,
I kind of want to
truly
get
a
done with in
room
one
worth
video.
admiring. But eager to get back to business,
And I don't
Stanley took the first
necessarily
open
think
door
everyone
on
wants
his
to
left.
hear the narrator say the same stuff over and over again. But the first thing that we're going to do
Stanley was so bad at following directions.
is
it's
that
incredible
we're going
it
to come
wasn't
over
5
here.
years ago.
We're going to listen to the
Look,
telephone.
Stanley, I think perhaps
Ooh,
we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
I need to go down there too.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
We have a lot
I
we need to
realize
do in
that
this room.
investing your trust in someone else can be difficult.
Hey,
but the fact is
narrator,
that the story
I'm
has
trying to
been about
talk here.
nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside.
So I need to
let
unplug the
her
phone
back
without the
into your
bucket.
life.
I
She's
need to
been waiting.
listen to the phone with the bucket.
That's her, Stanley.
It's not.
Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone?
I did.
Now, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits.
Not how that happened.
Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices, and to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or
Yes.
did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Oh,
Please
God.
observe this helpful instructional
No
video.
more helpful instructional videos.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the
1976
most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real.
I knew it.
Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been.
Okay.
This way, please.
Okay. Am I really going all the way back?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
All right, then where am I going, narrator? Am I going back to my office? Okay. Hello? Oh my god, I'm going back to my office.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
No.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task.
Okay.
Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Okay.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
That's about right. Okay. He went in the door on his right. I can't. That's it, huh? I have to go in the door on the left. Fine. No fun, narrator. Now what?
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why?
Yeah.
For what? What did
Shits
you
and
get out of
giggles.
that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it?
Probably
To
not.
know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
Okay.
I have to.
Hard reset. That didn't do it, bud.
Oh, I'm here. I'm
Yeah?
still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
Cool.
What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see?
Yes.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would.
Hell?
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
Yep.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I have to go on the one on the left first, don't I? Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yada, yada, yada. Whoa. Wow.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it.
This is new.
Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115. What?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
You didn't mishear me, did you?
No.
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I don't know what you want to do. I said Night Shark 115.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Stanley's dead.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
Nope.
Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The end.
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose.
Kind of sad.
Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Okay. Go
All
do
of his
the
co-workers
vent.
were gone. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Down we go and in the vent.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you.
Yeah.
Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights.
Yeah.
How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Damn, that was it? Nope. That was not it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Why is it like this?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay, so maybe
The
this is...
lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay.
Stanley was so bad at following directions,
So this
it's
is just
incredible he
normal.
wasn't fired years ago.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, that beginning portion apparently didn't really mean anything. Okay. I was told there's something in this starting room. Okay. But maybe it wasn't this starting room. Maybe it's this starting room.
What?
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
What?
We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
Yeah.
Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
What? Okay. All right, I don't think I'm finding anything in here. Wait, where's the narrator? What the hell's going on? What?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Did I get my boxes? No, I didn't get no boxes.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Factual.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I know.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would
that's
never
good.
be alone ever again.
That's good. All right, so give me the bucket. Right. So we need to answer the
Here,
phone
said
with
the
the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Hello?
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
Where's my bucket?
Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Where's my bucket? Oh, there he is. Bucket! Oh, Stanley, me, your bucket. Press M to make me... Wait. Press M to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
I won't.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me?
No.
Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
False. It makes me feel complete.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted
that really
and
ever
listened
happened.
to. Now all he cares about is this awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Watch some TV.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid.
All the
like
liquids.
It would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no, I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Things are getting weird now. But is weird good?
Stanley, give me the bucket.
No.
Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I
No.
need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
And all Frodo on our ass. We're gonna go ahead and call it an episode here. I have a few more endings left that I need to do, but I think I got one more. Next episode is the last one. I have, I think, 4 or 5 endings that I need to wrap up. I actually don't know how to do most of them. One of them was get to the bottom floor of the monitor room. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, so I may have to cheat a little bit and try to figure out what I'm missing. But I think I have 4 endings left. We need to go do the new content as well, so we'll probably start out with that and then try and wrap up with all the endings that I have missed. But either way, hit that thumbs up button if you enjoy it. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of my content. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Check you later.